Hello everyone and welcome to Camping with Lenny. Today we're going to be updating my camping list. So the season is almost over. Camping season, I mean. I decided to release a brand new episode before my last camping trip in the end of October to tell you guys what's been changed in my packing list or my camping gear. So let's start with something simple and something that I've been talking about for the past few camping trips is a yoga mat. The reason why I start bringing yoga mats with me is it becomes a soft pad when you stand up and walk around your tent. The reason why I have that is because I had a lessons learned in my first camping trip. Because I got into the campsite pretty late and I didn't actually check the campsite or the area that I'm planning to put my tent in, and there was a bunch of twigs and rocks and all that good stuff, so it was not officially very comfortable. So I decided the next trip I'm gonna bring a yoga mat with me. So when I set up inside my tent, I have my cot, and then I'll put the yoga mat right beside the cot itself. So when I stand up, if I miss a twig or a rock or anything hard object, I'm going to minimize my injury in my foot. That's one thing that I always encourage people to bring with them now. If they have an old yoga mat, definitely bring one and just lay it down. But here's the thing though. If I'm planning to go a camping trip more than, let's say, 3 or 4 days, like I'm planning to do for next year, I'm planning to do a 9-day trip, I'll probably getting those square pad things for the play area for kids. I'm gonna put them around the tent itself, so it's very, very soft. It does not add a lot of weight in your car, so I'm willing to do that to give a little more padding on the tent itself. I know it is considered glamping at the end of the day, but your feet will love you to death. So that's one thing that I ended up adding in my camping essentials, because you need to have that padding in your feet. I really do recommend that. The other one that I do want to let you guys know that I added on my camping is another portable table. The reason why I ended up putting another portable table is one thing. The picnic table that comes with your campsite, I do use it, but I use it as a kitchen and a washing area. So when I cook or when I eat, it's hard for me to use it because I got so many things already in there. So I ended up buying a foldable table that's high enough that I can put my feet through it and actually have a proper sitting area. So when I eat dinner, it's there. If I'm entertaining, it's there. If I'm playing cards or watching a watching a streaming show, I'll just put everything there. I can put my beer there as well too, so it works really well. It's small enough that you can fit 4 people very comfortably, but it's big enough that you can fit 4 people comfortably. It's small enough that they can just put it in a corner and no one's going to bother you. It's not going to bother you or anybody else. It's not in the way. So that's always a good thing. That's the second thing that I ending up adding to my essential list. The third thing that I ending up adding is a camping tarp. The camping tarp, it is my godsend. It is my ultimate thing that I bought this year that helped me survive my last camping trip. Reason why I ended up getting one of those is I like the blue tarp. The blue tarp works perfectly. I like those things, but they are heavy. They are heavy and a pain to set up. So I ended up going to Amazon, got myself a very good tarp. Cost me $40 Canadian. It's dirt cheap because I wasn't really sure if this is going to work out very well. So I ended up getting one of those. I set them up. In my last camping trip, I ended up setting it up to cover the tent itself because I really don't know how much rain I'll be getting in my last trip. So I put one in as a shelter. It worked really well. My next trip in October, I'm actually setting it up in a way that that it's going to be an extension to the tent now as a vestibule and a shelter. And if I do that, that means I will have a proper shelter on my tent and it will make my life a lot easier, especially if it's raining. I don't have to worry about running back and forth. And yeah, so I got that. Plus, I ended up getting 4 poles, so 2 pairs of poles. It can go up to 8 feet high, so it can be. It's very adjustable, so it works perfectly. So I have that. So that was my third thing that I added in my essential list. And yes, it is very, very worth having one of those. It's great. It's great. The other one that I also, well, I don't want to add. I don't want to say add, but I replaced. I replaced my propane stove to a butane stove. The butane stove I got is from Woods. It's a portable butane burner that when you folded it and pack it, it's the size of a size of, like, if you stack 4 phones together. They're very, very small. It's packable. It's lightweight. So I got that. So I ended up using that for the past 2 trips, and it worked out really well. The reason why I'm switching to butane away and going away from propane is twofold. One is the lightweightness of the stove itself, and the bottle itself. Also, the thermostat that I use is butane, so I decided to standardize to butane. Butane, sorry, I standardize to butane and go away from propane. I still have a propane tank. I still have all that stuff. So my next trip in October, depending how cold it's gonna be, I might be getting a buddy heater to just heat up the tent. So that means I have to use propane. My other one as well, to my buddy that's potentially coming with me to in my October trip, my cold weather trip. He has a butane barbecue, so we might be using that going forward as well too. So there's a lot of potentials there. I will, if I did not use it for the rest of the year, I am planning to bring it for next year camping trip, just to finish it off and just get that thing out of the way now. So that's a possibility right there. So yeah, so I switched to butane. I'm very, very happy with it. It was a good investment on my end. Again, the tanks are a lot smaller, and it works well. The only thing that I'm kind of worried about is if I do ending up camping in cold weather, the butane does not react very well to cold. That's the only thing. If it does, this means I do have to go back to propane. But that's one of those things that I'll cross that line when I get there. So that's one thing that I do need to look at, and all that good stuff. The next one that I want to add as well too is, don't laugh, please don't laugh, because it does work. In my washing area of the picnic table, I always had 2 portable foldable collapsible bins, those bins for washing and all that stuff. The first month, the first couple of camping trips, I set it up in a way that it was very awkward to use. It was incredibly awkward and all that good stuff. So I ended up searching the internet, and I found this little tiny hack. This hack worked out so well. I'm like, I'm going to steal this hack. They ended up putting a shelf put it on top of the table, so when you put your water jug, when you tip it over, open the faucet, the water will go in, so you don't have to bend over. But I don't want to get a shelf, so I found that I had a foldable footstool. So I took that footstool, put it on top of the table, landed it, put it on top, and it worked out really, really well. It works so well that it's literally my basin, my 2 tiny buckets, and I put the footstool just ahead of that, like behind that, and put the water water dispenser, or the water bucket. Is it a bucket? I just said it earlier. Water jug with a faucet. I just tip it over, and I just wash my dishes there, and it worked out really, really well. I totally enjoyed that setup, and let's just say that since I did that, I bend less. I'm literally not bending as much compared to before, so it worked out really well. So that's one of the things that I totally enjoy as well too. The other one as well too that I will really really want to talk about is the amount of gear that I'm actually trying to go less on. For the past few trips, I've been using a cooler, like a standard cooler that you get in Canadian Tire or any sporting good place that you go to, like the straightforward Coleman uh, cooler, right? So for this coming trip, I'm actually planning. If I end up going by myself, let's just say that none of my all the people that's supposed to go with me canceled because of other things. My plan is to go straight to freeze dry food. That's the goal for next trip. But if people are going with me, then that's gonna be another story. That's gonna be a little bit more coordination regarding food wise and food storage. But going forward for the next trips for next year, every time, especially if it's a 2 nights, 3 day camping trip, my goal is to actually bring leftovers from home now. The reason why I'm looking at bringing leftover food instead of me cooking is one is to minimize the amount of waste that I'm bringing with me. The other one as well too. I just literally speed up my process of eating. I just heat up my food and eat. And thirdly is I get to clean my fridge. It's just through the week before, so it just ease up the garbage stuff, the stuff that goes to the landfill. That was the goal overall, is to minimize that. So with that said though, I'm slowly looking at the possibility of actually downsizing my cooler even more to something a little bit more small and manageable. I don't normally drink the only thing that I need to be cold on is my beer. But if you plan it properly, the only thing you have to worry about is like your cooler. If I end up bringing a cooler, just gonna bring two coolers. One is just for the beer, and the other one's for the food. If I have anything that needs to be frozen, and that's it. That's all I'm bringing with me. So I'm trying to minimize the amount of stuff I'm bringing with me. The only thing that I want to make sure is to update my the rest of my gear stuff. I did buy a brand new lamp. It's the same wood lamp that I have when I was caring for the past few days, for the past few camping trips. The reason why I ended up getting a third one instead of two is the last camping trip. It was dark. It was incredibly dark, so it was hard for me to see at night. And I was only using one outside of my headlamp, and I decided to get another one just to give a little bit more light in the area itself. Depending on where I ending up camping, it can be extremely dark, like extremely dark, and it is hard to see very well. So I decided to get another one just in case. So that's good. And yeah, so that's those are the things that I ended up adding, and I'm very very happy that I added. If you go to campingwithlenny.com/equipment, there's a list of all the equipment that I use. Also, an updated essential checklist that you just download to use as sorry, you can use for your next camping trip. For the rest of this year in 2022, I'll be updating, refining that list even more because again, there's more and more stuff coming out. There's more tech coming out. There's more hacks that I end up collecting, getting, or learning. I'll be putting that as well too. So there's going to be a very good essential list. The goal is for you, if you're the first time going out camping for the first time as a solo camper. I want to make sure that you are comfortable. That when you go out, everything is there for you guys. Everything, you don't have to worry about any craziness or anything like that. So that's gonna be fun. Also, like I mentioned in the last camping trip, I am putting a list together of all camping places that I want to go to now. It's gonna be fun. I got people. Well, sometimes people will be coming with me. Sometimes no people will be coming with me. Completely solo, so that's gonna be fun. Also, there's a lot also by the way, and yeah, so that's going to be going up to. I am also going to put together a list of family essential list for family campers or a group camping because there's a lot of techniques that you can do that minimize what you're carrying. Actually, what I've done in the past with my friends is we sit down and go through what I'm planning to bring, what they're planning to bring, and so we don't have to double up everything. And by the time we get there, we minimize what each person is carrying. For example, I always take care of all the liquids, so that's beers and water, and that's my job is to bring all that, make sure everything's cold, everything's ready to go. One person's job is to handle all the barbecues, for example. One person handles all the chips. One person handles all the wood, for example. So it just evens everything out. And for the appliance like stove and all that stuff, everyone brings their stove. But the good news is, if someone brings a big stove, then we don't have to bring anything else. We just have to bring the propane that we already have. Those kind of things. So I'm gonna you know what, I'm gonna do a special episode in this one. I'm gonna talk to few other people and see if they're willing to join me to do this episode, because it's actually a very good learning thing, because it's a very, very efficient way to camp. So that is this episode. That Thank you very much. Again, this essential list is on the website at campinglenny.com. There you can find all the information you need there, and drop me a line if you have any questions. And thank you again.